Yay! Did it come up for you guys for this recording?
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Fab.
So, hi everyone. This is so weird. Myself and Neve are here with all of the SU officers. So we have Kelly Rennick, who is the president. We have Julian, who is the VP for education. We have Kieran, who is the VP for welfare and equality, and we have Buki, who is the VP for student life. So we're just literally just going to introduce you guys to your SU officers, because I'm sure a lot of you don't know what the student union is. So this is just going to be a really quick introduction to what it is and what it can do for you. So we're just going to start with all of the officers introducing themselves, and I think we'll start with Kelly, if that's okay.
Yeah. So my name is Kelly. I'm MSU president. So that means I am chief spokesperson of the union. So when the university are making decisions, I'm there to represent all students' interests.
Okay, and then Julian.
So my name is Julian and I'm the VP Education. So my role is around working on your behalf on education matters. So whether it's with lectures or stuff like that. I also run the academic rep system and I would love for you to get involved.
Fabulous. Kieran?
Yeah, so my name is Kieran. I'm the Vice President of Welfare and Equality in the Students' Union. So my job basically revolves around ensuring the student mental and physical well-being is prioritised and that everyone is treated equally and has access to as many supports as possible throughout their academic time in youth.
Fabulous. And then Buki.
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is Buki and I am the Vice President of Student Life, which is a new role this year. So I'm basically focused on student engagement and essentially kind of getting people involved outside of the degree, so extracurricular activities and making sure that you're fueling your passions and just having fun all around throughout the year. So yeah, that's me.
Fabulous. Thank you all.
So basically our first question is, what is the SU Student Union? Because I know when I came onto campus first, I had no notion what it was. So for the incoming students, what is it?
So the Students' Union essentially is a representative body. So all of us work as a team to represent you and your issues and to just make sure that you have a better life during college and that you're supported.
Fabulous. Yeah, I know. I used to walk into the SU being like, what is this place? And then, because I only thought of it as having a bar and a common room. So then it was only like last year or the year before that I knew what it was. So like, I'm glad. I wish I knew earlier, you know. So one of our first questions, we will go to Julian for this one. So as the VP for Education, you are there to basically represent the students with their departments and you're in charge of the academic reps. So if you could just explain what the academic reps are and how you can get involved, that would be great.
Yeah, so basically the academic reps are, I can't be around to every single class to know what the issues are. The academic reps are the representatives. They're on the ground, elected by their classes to represent their classes. They're kind of like, the way I like to put it, imagine a triangle. The reps in the middle, and you have the SU, the class itself, and then the lecturer and the department. And they're a link between the three of them. So that's basically what they do, and they liaise with myself and the three faculty conveners to try and get to try and communicate what the issues are and then to get them resolved in between the MSU academic representation structures and with the departments involved. How do you get involved? Great question. It's you can nominate yourself on msu.ie. And then the elections are going to be on the 19th of October to coincide with the Senate and executive elections. So you can vote for even if you're not a candidate, especially if you're a candidate, I would encourage you to go onto the website and vote for your senators, your executive members, and for your academic reps to have your say in who represents you for the year.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go to Buki next, and I just wanted to ask, so I'm sure that a lot of the incoming students are seeing a lot of the term clubs and societies, and especially with being online this year, I think they're probably more important than ever now, just in regards to making friends and stuff. So could you just kind of explain what clubs and societies are and how to get involved?
Yeah, so clubs and societies are basically like the different groups you can join. So there's sports, which are clubs, and then there's also social groups, which are like societies, I guess you could say. There's a load of societies. We've over 100 societies. I want to say we've around 130 clubs and societies in total. So there's a lot to choose from. If you think of anything that you like, there's probably something there. I think we had like chicken wing sock last year. Don't know if that's still floating around. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, if you're even just thinking about trying something new, like when I was in first year, I tried a new sport. I tried trampolining. That's something I'd never done before and got super into it. So it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or you're an expert in it. Just try something out. So that's what clubs do in a sense. They're sports. And then if you want to join a society, you can join different kinds of groups like say Afro Sock or literary and debating, which is also great. I'm gonna give a shout out to you, Eric. So, and then just there's anything like dance sock. There's loads, and if you're new, just try it out, and then you'll get so much better after like the whole year. So that's what a club and sock is. Is there anything else I need to say on that? Maybe why you should join one?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
I say like to join a club or society, you meet loads of friends. That's the main thing. And with them being online this year, I would tell students not to worry too much. There will be some physical aspects if the club or society decides to do that. But the main thing would be to join one and make new friends. And if you want, become a first year rep and join the committee. So that's another important part. Make sure you get involved in running for that. And if you do become part of the committee, you can be part of the club and society councils, which is what we do at MSU. And I'll probably explain a bit later. I don't want to take too much time talking. So
yeah, absolutely. And the thing is with clubs and socks too, like I know when I was in first year, I think I joined like 10 and then kept like 2. Like it's so weird. Like there's so many random things you can do with it.
Yeah.
Sample as many as possible in first year. It's just what we all do.
Yeah.
Just
like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, and that's the best way to go about it. Like
just to say, the university will organise like a virtual open day for you to like come online and look at them all and get involved, and that'll explain how you can sign up. And maybe there'll be some on-campus activity with it too, but there definitely will be a virtual open day that we'll let you know about, Buki will let you know about, and university, and that's how you get involved.
Yeah.
Perfect. Another way to get involved is with the welfare officer, I believe, because you run various campaigns and initiatives. So would you have any planned or in the making that you could talk about maybe what students could expect to see from you that they could maybe get involved with?
Yeah, so basically the main kind of place that students can get involved with the kind of welfare side of things is with the Welfare and Equality Forum. And there's kind of 3 aspects of that. So there's the welfare working group, there is the equality working group, and there's the campaigns working group. So for the welfare and equality working groups, that's kind of working around policies, the SU, and like working on like what we do as a students' union to better student welfare and further equality issues on campus. And that's kind of the more policy side, but it can be fun because like for everything we do in the students' union, there is a policy that backs it up. So if there's any change that a student wants to see in the students' union, they can get involved in that and enact that change. And the campaigns working group is where we work on what campaigns we're going to be running during the year and kind of work on how they're going to run and the logistics of it. So if students have an idea of like what events they could be doing during a campaign, or like what messaging we need to be putting out, and what issues are important to students, and that's kind of where they can bring those and get involved in like making sure the campaigns are running properly and running effectively. And then also actually just going to the stuff that's on during campaigns. Don't necessarily have to get involved in how they run, but like last year we had a lot of events and stuff happening during campaigns. This year obviously we might not have as many events due to coronavirus, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to have strong campaigns. So we're hoping to have some events on campus and then also some events online. So you can keep an eye out for those. So like last year, let's say, for example, we had our mental health week and we did like say drink tea and draw, which was like an event where you just went into the venue, you got tea and you painted for an hour or so. So events like that were kind of just giving you a chance to chill out and hang out with other people. So we're looking at ways of doing those in kind of a more social distance setting, but that's kind of stuff you can kind of look forward to. And then like maybe some online talks addressing different issues around the welfare and equality sector.
You know the student supporters that were last year,
yeah.
Will you be active in a virtual sense this year?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking into at the moment. It's just like kind of what way to run that, because we obviously last year we had plans of like, I basically had massive plans to do it all like as a big kind of orientation leader style training, and then coronavirus happened and threw all those plans out the window. So what I'm hoping to do this year is kind of looking at it in a more informal sense, and where we'll have like online trainings that students can sign up to and attend, and kind of like just add to their like portfolio of like support, I guess you could say. So online trainings about like how you can support your peers, and trying to make it more of a broad target rather than specific student supporters, having kind of it more accessible to all students in an online platform. That's kind of the thought process at the moment, but definitely there'll be something there during the year to kind of help students support their peers.
Brilliant. And from the back of that then for Buki, there's the student engagement officers, student engagement ambassadors, apologies. But you're over that, I believe. So what are they and how can you get involved with that?
Yeah, so I feel like I'm being so like formal. I'm just So like the student engagement ambassadors is really quite simply what is for students who are really involved to get other students really involved. I hope that makes sense. So a bunch of students who are often like part of club and societies or part of the SU, and then there are other students who are kind of more reluctant, a little bit shy. I was one of those students who was really shy and didn't want to get involved, but someone introduced me to this world. So the student engagement ambassadors are just people who are really involved with different activities on campus, club and societies, SU campaigns, anything you can think of, you name it, events especially as well. They're just those students that kind of reach out to other students who are just kind of like me when I was in first year, a bit afraid, kind of like a little bit on the shy side to kind of get involved. And how you could be a student engagement ambassador. I'm hoping to have sign-ups for those in the next, I want to say month or two, but I'd say around October, November-ish, around that period of time, where you'll be able to sign up, and there'll be different groups of student engagement ambassadors you can get involved with, and then basically you will narrow it down and you'll get shortlisted, and whoever gets shortlisted gets to be part of the team for the year, and you get to be trained. You'll have bonding sessions. You'll also be able to earn digital badges throughout the year, so that's something really exciting. Yes. So we're working on that. So digital badges, you can basically earn them and then put them on your CV or on online platforms. I can't speak English today. So on online platforms. And it looks great on your CV. Like I don't think people realize how much of a link there is between getting involved outside of your degree and actually getting like employed afterwards. Like that is something that people forget. So I'm hoping that people who do get involved this year will be able to not only get way more experience on top of what they have, but also be able to meet new people. So that's kind of what's happening this year with the Student Engagement Masters.
That's great. I'm just going to jump to Julian now, and I just wanted to ask, so obviously classes are going to look a bit different this year to what we're all used to. So if you could just kind of give us a kind of basic step-by-step guide on if a student is having a problem with a class or a module, like what steps should they take?
Well, they should contact their lecturer and so on and see what the problem is, discuss it with them, and if they're not happy with the response, they can email me. But basically, in terms of what's actually happening with the steps the university is taking in regards to teaching and learning during Corona, is they have a new software called Panopto, which is basically a lecture capture software whereby you, if you're not scheduled to attend a certain class that week in person, you can watch it online. You can watch it live while it's happening, or if you for whatever reason cannot be there at that time, you can then it's recorded and then you can watch back over it at a different time. It has a table of content that's added after it's recorded and all that, so it's very handy in terms of using it. And as well as the departments are each going to be releasing, hopefully on Friday, a list of basically estimates of how often a student can expect to be on campus, and be broken down by modules. So it's already available for the incoming first years, and hopefully by Friday, each student will know more or less, each continuing student will know more or less in terms of how often they're going to be on campus, say if it's once a week or 3 times a semester, or could be, it can be anything in that regard, how often they're actually going to be on campus.
Perfect, that's great.
And Julian, what steps would a student take, or what you'd recommend them take if they were having an issue with a lecture or a department or with a module? What steps would you recommend them take?
Well, there's two. You can either go to your academic rep about it or myself, or you can discuss it internally within the department. So you can go to your departmental office. So say if you're a business student, you can email business@mu.ie, or you can get in contact with your academic rep or your faculty convener or myself, and we can work to resolve the issue with you.
Perfect.
Great. And then I think we're just, oh, sorry, go on, Kelly.
I would just say sometimes it is daunting to go to your lectures and stuff, so don't be afraid at any point. You don't have to do that step first. Julian's email is always open. We're making sure you know who your academic reps are, the faculty conveners, and so there always is a student who gets you that you can email, message, and talk, and will help you with your issue every day of the week. So don't be frightened or afraid and think you have to sort it out with the department of that. And Julian, he's always there for you.
Exactly.
I'm just on like reaching out. We're gonna jump to Kieran and just say like, could you just kind of explain what welfare-based supports are available to students on campus? And if you know, you might not know this yet, but like, are they going to have a virtual option as well, or?
Yeah. So firstly, there's me. So I kind of act as a listening ear and referral service for students. So if students have an issue and they don't really know where to go to, they can come and they can get in contact with me on it, and I can then listen to them, hear what their issue is, and then refer them on to the best place for them to get help. On campus, we have the Student Services building, and that houses the counselling service, the budgeting advisor, the home finder service. It also has it's in the same kind of building as the access office, and that they're kind of linked together. And there's also the health centre, are all kind of in around that one building. So students can access the counselling service. As far as I'm aware, it's going to be blended approach to the counselling service. So there'll still be like the option of online or phone call appointments, but there will be some on-campus appointments. So you can make an appointment with the counselling service and talk to someone through that. If you're having an issue with finances, you can make an appointment with the budgeting advisor, Ruth, who's great. And you can apply for funds such as the Student Assistance Fund or the Student Emergency Fund if you're having issues with finances. If you're struggling to find accommodation, there's the Home Finder service at the hub in the Student Services building. And then there's also the health centre if you're feeling a bit under the weather. You can make an appointment. Now, with coronavirus, they're saying that if you have symptoms, not to drop into the service, but you can ring them and get a appointment there, or they can give you kind of a phone referral. And then there's the access office, which can help with all your which can help with all stuff around the here and there schemes and people who come through the access side of things. So there's really like loads of supports over there, and then in general most like lecturers are happy enough as well if you want to talk to a lecturer about, like, say if you're struggling with anything as well on the kind of the mix between the educational and the welfare side of things. Like, say if you're struggling with a getting an assignment in because just stuff's really getting to you, like being like, you can come and either talk to myself or Julian, and generally enough we'll be like look into stuff like, say, extensions on assignments and stuff, talking to lecturers around that. So there is a good bit of like support available for different things across the campus. Yeah, that's really think I can also, if I can think of off the top of my head.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So Kelly, this is more so for you. Like every building and campus looks a bit different this year. But guys, you guys know now that you've been on campus and seen it all. But how do things look this year, services wise? What can students expect to go into, see, do on campus?
So I will say not to worry. Because of coronavirus, no services will be closed. Everything will still be running this year. Just everything will take place in a reduced seating or social distance manner. So all the buildings will be open and accessible, all the study spaces, most of the food areas, drink areas, and all the different public facing offices like student services and everything like that. Everything is still completely accessible for you to enter. It's just going to be with the social distancing you see in your shops and things like that. Like, everyone has to keep 2 meters apart. So yes, it will be different, but it's kind of like what we've been all going through since March anyway, how you have to behave in public areas. It's basically what your university is going to be like as well. And just being mindful of congregation of groups and things like that, and just keep them separate. So the change will just be how you act on campus, but everything will still look the same and everything's still going to be open for you.
Class. And you know the student services in the student union, would you still go there to get things such as your leap card or things that you're usually sent there for?
Yeah, so all our services are still up and running. We have our front office, which has got a bigger location now to allow for social distancing, and that's where you can do some printing and you can get your travel cards. Or just pop in for any question whatsoever. The front office is great at helping you, direct you to either us or any services, and there'll always be someone there to help you during the day. And then we've got our SU bar that will still be running for food and drink in a socially distanced manner as well. And then we've got our SU shop in the centre of the campus too. So it's all of our services are student friendly prices too. So they're all still open and they're all still running.
Right. And just while we're finishing up, I just wanted to we touched on this earlier, but like if a student does need to contact any of you guys, what is the best way for them to do that?
Love this question.
We have all the socials and we have emails, but I'd say the best thing to do is go on to the msu.ie website, and there you can see all the different ways to contact us, whether you want to get our email, our phone numbers, our socials. We're active on them all. So if everyone just wants to drop their email, actually, because that is the quickest way to contact us. So mine is president@msu.ie. Julian, do you want to just say?
Education@msu.ie.
Kieran?
Mine is welfare@msu.ie.
Why did you say it like that? You're making me scared.
And Brucey?
Mine is studentlife@msu.ie.
The new one.
Yay!
Also, I'm just going to do it for you because I'm going to plug your vlog on Instagram.
Yes!
I'm living for it, I have to say. Absolutely love it. Best idea going. Like,
so yeah, we have a new vlog account this year on Instagram called MSU_vlogs, and the aim of it is just to be like interactive, show you what we get up to, be as transparent as possible, and just have some fun. And we also constantly asking questions on there, so just DM us.
And also features bloopers from all of our videos, such as me scaring Kelly and Buki and Julian's
I genuinely love it. Like I actually I'll fuck it to anyone. Okay. It's so entertaining.
Actually, one more thing I might just say as well. I know that everything is going to be a bit more virtual this year, and you might not be at campus, but as much. But like we're still open for you to come and visit us. So if you do want to come and visit us, we can still meet and have a chat in person. It doesn't have to be by email. If you're more comfortable at speaking in person, you're not good at typing, or you don't want to call, just come in and we'll sit and talk to you.
And is there like an appointment system for that, or can they just drop in?
Just drop in, and yeah, doesn't need to.
If people want to, like, they can. It's kind of up to themselves. Like if they want to, if they know that they're in the next day and they're not in that day, they can email in advance if they know they're going to be free at like 2 or something, and like we can make sure that we're available at those times. But other than that, like drop-ins are absolutely fine.
Anne-Marie at the front desk wants to meet the students. She wants to see you, so drop in and say hello to Anne-Marie.
Lockdown has caused us all wanting to just speak to humans in person.
Yeah. So true.
But my last question that we're going to just leave it on then is basically, it's not the question yet, but you all were students too, and I think that's important to know for the incoming students, is you all started off the same way they did, nervous, apprehensive, maybe shy, as Buki said she was, and didn't want to get involved, and now you're our SU officers, like you had a whole campaign to be one, and jumping around campus, getting people's attention, so like you have gone from one part of it to another, and like that's like a massive example to set for the incoming students. And a lot of their worries right now is because a lot of it will be virtual, and you guys have all stated now things will be on campus, like they can come on to campus, but their worry is how will I make friends, and like that's their main worry, is the social aspect of college. They're worrying that that's gone. But what advice would you give to students that are coming in about their work, like about making friends and things like that? It doesn't have to be necessarily that, but what advice would you give that you think is the best piece of advice maybe you were given? I maybe start with Kelly, and then Julian, Kieran, and Buki, and then we'll finish it.
I'd say my advice is, it is very daunting, and it's a very different world we're going into, but that doesn't mean that you can't make friends. might be a little bit more challenging, but the opportunities are still there. And I think my advice is, it would have been easier in the traditional sense that you're on campus all the time, bumping into people. But now that it might be a bit more limited, definitely get involved with the different opportunities that you see on campus with us with the SCU clubs and societies, because getting involved with opportunities means you've got a select group of people that you're going to be in group chats with, you're going to be in video calls with, you're going to be working on stuff with. So automatically there's like, you're making new friends from getting involved with the different opportunities. So that's my big advice this year. It's your year to get involved, and that'll make sure that you're not spending it alone. You don't have to be nervous. You're going to meet loads of new people that way. So definitely jump into opportunities is my advice this year.
In terms of lectures, just the university has encouraged departments to kind of make it so that, like, if you're coming in every second lecture, and then you have tutorials as well in smaller groups, to try and make sure that the people who are going to lectures together are also going to the tutorials together. So if you meet, try and introduce yourself to meet people. Like, have you, in the first Harry Potter, remember the scene where Hermione meets the others on the train? She kind of like recites, "Hi, my name is Hermione," and so on. But that's, and you may think that's a bit stiff, that's not going to make me friends. First of all, false, and second of all, you're more likely to make friends that way than you would if you just stay silent and say don't say hi, try to introduce yourself to anybody. So just, try and get yourself out there, say hi to people, introduce yourself. You will make friends.
Julian's so wholesome. I love it.
My advice would be is knowing that everyone's in the same boat as you. Like, because I think when I started college, my first day, I remember I knew like nobody, no one was, like, the majority of my school all decided to go off to like UCD and all that, like other places. And I remember coming in on the first day and I knew nobody, and I was sitting in Aegis and I was like this close to throwing up from anxiety. And then all of a sudden one of my friends walked in, like just happened to know, and I swear, like, I grabbed her so hard, I was like, "You're sitting beside me for the day." But after I lost her as a social crutch when she had to go off in another group, I had to make friends. And the one thing I realized that, like, as much as I felt like I looked around and I saw people chatting, and as much as I felt like everyone else here knows each other and they're probably all friends, it wasn't the case at all. And there was so many other people who were in the same boat as me who didn't know anyone and were waiting for someone to reach out and be like, "Hi, what's your name?" And then they could cling on to them as a social crutch. But being able to just take a step back and be like, okay, it might feel like I'm on my own here, but there are about 50 other people who are on their own here. So let's just take that first step and don't be afraid to say hi to someone, because they're probably waiting for you to say hi, and kind of keeping that in mind when you're trying to make friends. Because I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about when they're on their first day. So that's my bit of advice.
You stole my piece of advice, Kieran.
Obviously
I know, I that was really good. I thought that was like probably one of my points as well, in terms of like, just, you think that people don't want to reach out to you, but actually you might be the first person to reach out instead. Like, just think of it that way. But I guess my other piece of advice, since Kieran stole my first one, would be, like, it is absolutely okay to feel like you're out of place and feel like you're a bit awkward or feel like you're a bit different. Like, I feel like when I came to college, if I'm giving myself this advice when I was in first year, coming into a COVID climate, I would have said to myself, it's perfectly fine to be like feeling different and like to feel like you're not in a certain kind of niche or a certain kind of group. But like, especially in the COVID climate, you're gonna, like Kelly said, get involved with as many things as you can. Like, this is your opportunity to get involved, but it's also your opportunity to like pick out different parts of yourself that you're passionate about. I'd say I'm like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I'm not great at everything, but I like a lot of different things. So I just picked bits that I love doing, and I just joined all of those different things, got involved with those different things, and I ended up with like a bunch of different groups of people. So it's fine if you don't fit into one. Like, do everything, and just, it's okay if you feel like you're a bit out of place in like a certain group. Just find a bunch of people rather than just one person. Like, do all that. Like, you can make one friend, but you can also make 100 friends, and that's perfectly okay as well. And if you're awkward, loads of people are awkward. I'm awkward. All of us are awkward. So it's perfectly fine.
One last thing. Don't be scared about the social distancing and wearing masks in your lectures. You can still hear each other and you can still turn over and say, "Hi, my name is." It's not that far. It feels far, but it's not that far. You can still talk.
I mean, I I challenge you to do that in the office because you already like shouting in between the walls. Apparently, I challenge you to both wear your masks and put that on your vlog, screaming at each other in the office. No, Anne-Marie.
I have bought 6 new masks. Like I need different ones for every day. I can't be wearing the same one.
That's so true.
Yeah, that's true.
Change your mask, wash your masks, and change your masks.
I will say, guys, as well, keep your eyes peeled. MSU are going to have some masks for you.
Oh,
Oh,
look at all these.
I
So exciting.
can I just I'm surprised that their logo on Kieran's mask is Reebok and not CrossFit.
You know.
Thank you guys for
He's
today.
muted. He
Thank
doesn't
you
even know he's
so
muted.
much for agreeing to talk to me and Erica, because it's a hard challenge for a lot of people to talk to me and Erica. So
Not many people will sit down with us for 40 minutes and actually talk to us.
great.
With us, though.
This is great practice for us too, though, because this is the first kind of like orientation you kind of welcome, you kind of chat with that to have. So it was good practice for us too to kind of think about, did we get our message across, did we not? So thank you so much.
Well, if you guys feel like there's anything missing or you didn't get to say, please, now is the time.
I would just say that just remember, like, I know you're seeing us as officers and we're all like sabbatical officers, woo, they're up there. We're really not. We're literally still students. We're all still students. Like, we're just, well, still students, I say, but we are technically considered as students as well. And we're literally just humans and we love laughing. So if you want to chat to us,
Like most of us just finished college the other day. Only a week ago I was still doing
I
college.
graduated today.
I still haven't finished college, so like
So like, just come chat to us. We're so approachable. I feel like our vibe, especially all 4 of us, we're so quirky and odd, and it's so fun. So I think, like, if you want to chat to us anytime, hit us up on our email preferably, because we'll answer better there. And I just come into the office as well. That's fine too. So yeah.
I'm excited. Like, you'll see me and Erica come in now and just be like, we're here to annoy you for an hour. Get over it. He offered this, so
That'd be good.
we'll come in and talk about our life's issues with you, and you just have to listen.
You'd be surprised what we all talk about.
But yeah, no, seriously, thank you so very much. Is now the time to say that this wasn't recorded and we have to do it again? Okay.
Oh, madness. I would
I'm like, see you later.
But thank you all so much. I'm gonna end the call. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.